Hey, we're back.
We're back.
Anyone remember this game?
I do.
I do. We were just playing it the other day, and now we're playing it again. Funny how that happens.
Time to have a grand old time.
Listen, that's not okay. Vast and majestic, the canyon dominates the horizon as far as my eyes can see. Calico rocks are given a murky tint by the dying sunlight. It's a breathtaking view. I just stare out over the abyss, watching as the sun slowly climbs down the sky.
What are you even looking at?
Rocks! Don't you like rocks?
Kinda.
Rocks, they're neat.
I
Look, there's a big
guess.
hole in the rocks. It's a long hole. That's kind of cool. That's kind of neat. She says it flatly, not like a question. Mariah's been this way for hours now, since Joseph practically dragged her out of the RV. While the other three have amused themselves with disposable cameras and curiosity, Mariah's tailed me like a mangy dog. She won't let me forget about her relentless apathy, punctuating it with frequent sighs. I'm looking at the cliffs and considering sending you to get a closer look at the bottom.
This is your fault, you know.
I'm pretty sure no judge would convict me. What is?
That we're here, or at least that I'm here.
Hey, I didn't want you along either. This was all Marina.
Just tell that airhead no sometime. Guessing you've never turned down a request of hers in your life.
We've known each other for like 36 hours.
And how many requests have you turned down?
I shoot her a dirty look at the word airhead. Mariah rolls her eyes. She doesn't care one bit. She wanted to play with Tess. Someone has to.
Joe does it all the time.
Her ability to miss the point is actually kind of impressive. Besides, you should see the look I get if I try to stop her from something. Maybe I can't say no.
Be more like me. Mental fortitude and training.
Here, read this book. Read this book. 7 tips for mentally strong people. 7 things mentally strong people don't do. That's got to be the title of some kind of self-help book, I swear. It's almost breaking down when... It's almost breaking down when someone threatens to take away the key to your liquor cabinet, part of that mental fortitude and training. She clicks her tongue in annoyance and grumbles.
I could have still said no. I was just doing it for Tess.
I turn my attention over to the impromptu photo shoot again. Oh my god, I just realized...
Yeah?
I just realized Marina is leaning over in the Monica pose.
Yeah. And the hair is kind of the same.
Yeah. Just Marina.
Just Marina. Just me.
Please tell me you don't play visual novels.
Not anymore. Not since the incident.
Why is there an incident involving visual novels? What happened? Oh no, you played Wonderful every day, didn't you? I'm sorry. Do you need medication? We've got that. Both the girls climb on the rocks and lean against the railings to take pictures. Joseph trails close behind, probably to make sure nobody slips. Sometimes he's pulled in for a picture, too. Marina's taken pictures of just about everything, the sky, the ground, and a pouting Mariah. As a photographer, she's not very picky. Tess, on the other hand, seems to have an actual knack for it. She's taken pictures of scenic valleys and close-ups of beautiful desert flowers in full bloom, usually with Joseph as the model. She even managed to get close enough to take one of an eagle perched on a rock. Not hard when you're practically invisible, though.
I
have an invisibility cloak!
I don't even know why she's so interested in this stuff.
What? The wonder and majesty of the naturally formed geographic wonders?
That's a fancy way of saying overgrown rocks.
Not overgrown. Overcarved. Who cares? Shouldn't you be glad that she is?
Why? I'd prefer if she cared about something that matters.
Like getting rich?
Exactly.
If she wanted to get rich, she should start a YouTube channel.
It's Americana this, sightseeing that. What the hell even is Americana?
That's actually a really fascinating question.
I know,
Because,
right?
Like, Americana posits this mythical time in American history that, and seems to, like, supposed this kind of peace and wonder that never really actually existed. It's very strange.
Don't mess with Texas shirts and old rocking chairs that some hicks farted on.
Do you ever listen to yourself talk? Just be happy she's interested in culture and expanding her horizons. See? It's all the way over there now. That's how far her horizon went.
Culture? Our favorite foods are bastardized versions of foreign cuisine.
Okay, that's fair.
Culture is a sham. When I was her age, I was interested in things that actually mattered, like treasure.
Oh my god. Years later, nothing's changed. I gave him a voice like that, right? Something to that effect.
Probably.
Since the other girls are taking a break, Joseph has joined us. They want to take some pictures with you. Mariah starts to protest, but Joseph cuts her off. Your sister wanted me to ask. Her mouth shuts and she rolls her eyes again.
Fine.
She also wondered if you wanted to wear like a shirt or something.
No.
Like, I get it. Like, I love your look and all that. It's very you. But just like the amount of extra sunscreen you have to use to cover your chest when you really don't need to. Like, you don't fuck around with desert sun. You don't do it. She stalks over to where they are, kicking up clouds of dust with each heavy step. Sorry if she's causing you trouble. She can be a bit of a handful. I know it's hard to believe, but there's a good heart in there somewhere. And she'd probably sell it for $1 if she could. Joseph laughs heartily. You might be right. That's just how she is, I guess. Been that way since we were kids. Hard to imagine that someone could not only know Mariah as a child, but want to maintain a friendship with her for the rest of their lives. Come to think of it, Joseph's a bit of an odd case as compared to the other two. Odd just because he's so normal. I mean, he has cloud strife hair, but aside from that... Hey, can I ask you something? Shoot! Why do you have cloud strife hair? What? Is that like a cumulonimbus or... You're not gonna help me. You're not gonna help me out here.
I am neither of these characters.
Yeah, but you can jump in any time.
With what?
I don't know. Help me out here.
How?
I pick over your characters for one-off jokes all the time. And you're over here just letting me flounder all on my own? This isn't the SK show. It's two queers play. This isn't one queer monologues and the other one occasionally giggles.
I'll have you know, I am voicing many of the characters in this game.
All right. Do you care about the treasure? He scratches the stubble on his chin and thinks about it. Like, you have a good head on your shoulders. Why do you let her drag you around? It's not that I don't care about the treasure. Being rich doesn't sound like a bad gig at all. But I wouldn't say I have a good head on my shoulders either. Getting out treasure hunting or kicking back on a couch all day, I'd pick the couch. Figures. His own broad smile returns. I didn't even notice it disappear. But as for them, one of them needs someone to look out for her, and the other is 10. Now we both laugh. See? There you go, natural. She's the one who gets me off the couch. I'm the one who gets her to sit down sometimes. Even back in school, she was always picking fights. Didn't matter if it was with another kid or a teacher. Got her ass kicked a couple times. If she were all on her own, she'd tear apart the whole Southwest. You see that? You see that extension of the canyon right over there? It looks real fresh. She did that. Got real pissed off after losing at blackjack one time. And bam, new geological formation. Does that make sense? I'm trying so hard to keep this, but look over at where the three of them are still taking pictures. Tess is standing on a rock so that she's at the same level as the others. Right now, two of her fingers hold Mariah's mouth into the shape of a smile. On Mariah's other side, Marina holds the camera out and takes their picture. Then Tess takes one, though Marina keeps her hand out of Mariah's mouth. Yeah, I know what you mean. But someone's got to make sure Tess doesn't starve. Catching us watching, Marina waves vigorously. She nearly knocks Mariah's lights out while she does. I wave back. Hey. Hi. I'm waving.
Me too.
No one can see you waving, but thank you. Tess says something that gets Marina's attention, and after a second, Marina hurries over. I wince as I watch her clumsily climb over the rocks, scared that she's going to slip and hurt herself. But she arrives unharmed.
Tess wanted me to ask if you'd go be in the pictures too, Joe. She says she wants all 3 of you. There are 3 of you, Joe.
Yeah, I know. Tucker. What is it? Frisian?
What?
Frisian. There's 3 of me. I'm 3 people now.
Oh, fission. Splitting?
Oh yeah, fission. Sorry. The other one. I'm not no philosophy. I'm not a philocaster. I don't know any magic spells or anything like that.
That's fine.
Looks like that's my cue. With nothing more to say, he drifts over to the others and exchanges spots with Marina. Yay! Camera. Tess passes him the camera and he holds it up to his eye. Why are you using the sheep thing anyway? The camera on Mariah's phone is way better. He takes the camera from Tess and dangles it from his fingers, observing it like it's an ancient, long-buried artifact, which it really is.
The memory is full from all her journal entries.
Journal?
It's more like angsty poetry.
Oh, fair enough. Did you see her faces? Mariah turns toward me, panic and fury in her eyes, but she is too slow. How'd that one go again? Oh, yeah. Rivers of amber pour for my bottle like tears, forever sweeping El Dorado beyond my grasp. Mariah slouches.
I hate you both.
Yeah, what are you talking about? I did serious poetry reading. Come on, I tried to give you the best reading possible. But we love you, Mariah. Tess clings to her sister's waist like a magnet, showing her affection. Fucking magnets. How do they work? Nice one, Tess. Boop. It goes ignored. Now squeeze in. I'm not sure how we're all gonna fit. We watch for a moment before I tap Marina on the shoulder. That should keep them busy for a while. Quick, while they're distracted.
What?
I grab Marina's hand and dash off, dragging her behind me. Her feet have trouble keeping up, but I don't slow down. I don't look back. Just keep running!
Amber, where are we going?
We wander around for a while until we find another viewpoint that's empty of other people. I'm guessing that a lot of treasure hunters are out looking now since the oppressive heat isn't as bad. I lean against the rail, my head propped up on my arms. The cool metal feels nice against my skin. Marina does the same, and she sighs wistfully.
So pretty.
6 out of 10. Which part?
All of it, especially the sunset.
Nearly all the sunlight has been swallowed by the canyon's colossal darkness. Shadows cast by the stones mute the gorgeous colors as the sun melts into the tip of the canyon. It's barren and desolate, but Marina's right. I thought that was a hyphen, not an M dash, but Marina's right. It's pretty.
Oh, let's take a picture before it gets too dark. You're not getting out of this one. You haven't been in any of the pictures today.
Yeah, that's on purpose.
Scooch in.
Fine. Like, together?
Duh.
She slides towards me and I squirm away on instinct.
What's wrong?
Immediately, before I can answer, she grins slyly.
Wait a second.
No, stop it. Don't start thinking about things.
You're camera shy, aren't you?
God damn it. I am not. You can't prove that. I retort a little too quickly.
Oh?
Clearly, she doesn't believe me. It's not that I'm afraid of them or anything. I just don't like having my picture taken.
How come?
I shrug. Just don't.
Well, you'll have to deal with it this time.
She zips over and before I can react, has pressed her cheek to mine. The shutter clicks and I'm momentarily stunned by the flash. Before I can protest or enjoy the closeness, she's already pulled away and is checking the results.
It's cute, look.
She shoves the camera into my face, but it's so close and the screen is so small that I can't actually see the picture. I just nod.
I can't wait to get these developed.
Turning to me, Marina pauses. What year is it again? I thought...
I'm not too clear on that myself, really. Let's table that one. Anyway, how do you get photos developed anyway?
We'll have to take them to a store and have them do it. Most big supermarkets can.
Okay, first thing tomorrow then.
Sure. Like a hummingbird, Marina darts forward and gives me a tight hug.
Thanks for coming out here. It's been so amazing. I hope it was worth it.
I look down at her, pressed against me. Yeah, it was. Marina pulls away to my great disappointment. She opens her mouth like she's going to say something, but then seems to change her mind. What?
What?
You were about to say something. What was it?
Oh, never mind.
Hey, you can't do that. Now I really want to know. She giggles, but it's distracted sounding.
Okay, fine. I was just gonna ask, why is it that you hate Mariah and her group so much?
Where'd that come from? Marina turns away and stares out over the canyon again. It's getting pretty dark, and she's quiet for a moment before she talks.
I don't know, you just complain about them a lot.
I don't hate them, dummy. You silly baka. Joe and Tess are fine. It's just Mariah I have a problem with.
How come?
She's a bitch. Loud, rude, obnoxious. Really hate people like that. She thinks she's always right, too.
Sounds like someone else I know.
Really? Who? Don't give me that. We're nothing alike. Marina laughs.
Yeah.
Half a minute passes in silence.
You're way cuter than she is.
Aww, what? Time stops, and so does my heart. Everything feels like it's frozen. I look over at Marina, but she's looking at the canyon, not me. Still just a couple of inches away. I gulp, swallowing the lump forming in my throat. You said that before, I think. You're cuter.
Oh, hush, I'm trying to compliment you.
I fall silent for a moment, not sure how to respond. You know, back when we first met, I meant when I said about you being cute, too. She giggles again.
I'd forgotten about that.
As if on cue, a light breeze starts up, causing her hair to billow out like a cloud. Her side tail, hastily bound, looks like it might come undone. Finally, she turns to look at me, her eyes wide and lips glistening. My palms are dry, my knees weak, arms spaghetti. Nervous, but on the surface I look calm and ready to drop bombs, but I keep on. Gulping yet again, I cross the short distance between us in a half step, leaning in, and...
There you are!
God damn it! Someone is about to die. Mariah's shrill voice cuts through the moment, rupturing my eardrums in patience. I pull away and Marina has already turned around to face them. The trio appear like specters out of the darkness.
You left us behind.
We tried to, at least.
You were the ones who dragged us out here. I at least expect you to stick around.
Cowered into submission, Marina's shoulders fall. Back off. I wanted to see the sunset without you sighing about it.
Whatever. It was a waste of time either way. Come on, we're going back.
Mariah lopes off down the path at a brisk pace. Marina and Tess are back to photographing anything and everything, though the low night means that the pictures won't show up. Joseph and I trail behind at the end of the party. How was the sunset? Sighing, I pull ahead. Right now, even Joseph seems like a little too much. It was okay. The campsite has cleared up a lot since we set out this morning. It's still pretty full, but at least it's not claustrophobic anymore. After a few campfires illuminate people that are left behind, plus the smoke keeps the bugs away. All 5 of us huddle outside my RV. The goodbyes are taking a while since Marina has to hug everyone at least twice. Then she says
including you.
We can talk about that later. Then she says something to reignite the conversation. The whole process starts over. Finally, I grab the door handle to signal that we're about done. Marina automatically begins the final round of hugs.
So, what's next for you guys?
Maybe not.
Back to poring over the journal to see what we can find. Once we located it, straight off to wherever.
Joseph heaves a heavy sigh. No rest for the weary.
You don't get weary, slacker. You get motivated. Oh, you should put that on a shirt. Would you buy one? Nobody would. Then no.
All of us, even Mariah, laugh a little. Finally, Joseph puts his arm around Tess and starts to lead them away. We'll get out of your hair for the night. Starting down the path, they walk towards their motorhome. Wait a sec. They freeze. Marina looks at me too, curious. Next piece is almost definitely at Arches in Utah. I hear Marina gasp, though I don't see it. Joseph and Tess both look to Mariah, their profiles barely visible from the flickering campfires in the distance. Mariah nods stiffly.
Thanks.
Thanks, Amber.
Amber.
It's probably the first time she's ever said that word. With the wave of her hand, she turns and they finally leave. Marina and I both watch until they vanish out of sight. Then Marina squeals.
I'm so proud of you, Amber, and shocked. That was super nice of you.
Wasn't much. This one's pretty easy to figure out when you take the time. Probably save them a half an hour at best.
Still, it's the thought that counts.
Is it? Do we have to count the thought?
Why'd you do it, though?
Someone's got to take care of them, after all. I look away, pretending to scratch an itch on my cheek. They're not that bad. We ended up spending the night in a department store parking lot. There were plenty of rest stops, but those are off the table. Permanently. Like usual, wait, why?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Like usual, I woke up pretty early and got us on the road again. Even after waking up briefly, Marina passed back out until we were already in Moab. Moab is the quintessential outdoorsy town. It's built alongside the Colorado River, winding through a canyon. Every other store sells rafting supplies or hiking gear or camping equipment. Even some of the houses are made to look like log cabins and other rustic architecture. You can see tall, forested mountains from any part of town, but it's not entirely out of the desert either. The time of morning where most people are on their way to work, there's a disgustingly large amount of traffic. It's obvious why. Shovels and pickaxes stick out of the truck beds and cracked windows like porcupine quills. At a glance, I'd say 3/4 of the people contributing to our glacial pace are prospectors, which means I don't have any room to complain. After watching the next light change 3 times, but still not reaching it myself, I sigh and pull into a nearby diner. Why do I keep hitting the wrong button? At first, I was just planning to grab some coffee and a bagel and something from Marina when wakes up, but with her trademark perfect timing, I hear her climb out of bed right as I turn off the RV.
We there? Is this Arches?
She stumbles up to the front, still looking mostly asleep. I don't know how she can still be tired. She must have gotten 10 hours.
Oh, you sweet summer child.
Oh, the halcyon days of youth. Ah, that one wasn't even... That was the keyboard. That wasn't even the mouse. Close, we're in Moab. Arches is still a few miles up the road.
Oh, why'd we stop?
Because I'm hungry and traffic's practically stalled. It could be lunchtime before we get there.
You were just gonna eat without me?
Even through her grogginess, she sounds shocked and offended. I was going to grab you something to go, but I will eat without you if you don't get ready fast.
Meanie.
Yeah. Complain about me once you're dressed. I can see the start of a smile as she turns back to get ready. I inspect my nails while I wait. A few minutes later, and she hops up to the front like the Easter bunny, chipper as ever. It's like your energy is stored in your outfit or something. You get dressed and wake right up. No, silly. Energy is stored in the balls.
I just do coke every time I change clothes.
Why every time you change clothing? That seems like an arbitrary... I'm not going to question it. It seems to work for you, but...
I know, right?
Seems rather arbitrary.
Yeah.
Marina puts on airs.
I don't know what you mean. I'm always cheerful and alert.
Uh-huh. Did you know that you snore? Her pretenses dropped in a flash.
Do not.
You do. I lead the way out of the RV. Loud, like an elephant seal. Marina blusters about for a retort while I just wait by the door laughing. She makes a noise as she passes by me, crossing the parking lot. Still, she holds the door for me as we go into the diner. Oh, hey, different diner. There's a seat yourself sign up near the front, along with a stack of menus. I grab 2 off the top. Do you need a kid's menu with the crayons? I'm just teasing her more, but her face lights up.
Ooh, they have those? Yeah, give me one.
Did you see her do the little jump? Mentally facepalming, I also take a coloring sheet and a cup of crayons. We find a booth by the window near the middle of the restaurant, between a family of 4 and a couple around our age. Might be the only empty spot in the whole place. While I look out over the breakfast specials, Marina eagerly begins to color. She's got her dark green, 2 shades of red, a blue, and a yellow crayon. Of course, they're worn down to being practically round on the bottoms, which makes it hard for her to stay inside the lines. When I shift my legs, I accidentally bump the table with my foot and cause her to make a large green streak across the personified egg she was coloring. Oops, sorry.
It's okay. What is it they say? There are no mistakes in art, just happy accidents?
Something like that. Why green?
Do you not see what I'm coloring here, Sam I. Amber?
Okay, just for that pun, you don't actually get food.
If that's okay, I'll eat the crayons.
Why were you so ready to go to that as your backup plan? What is it with you and putting things that are not food in places that food are meant to go? I groan aloud at her awful joke. I'm saved from more of them by the arrival of the same waitress who greeted us. Her white uniform is stained with jelly and ketchup and who knows what else.
Can I get you girls something to drink? I'll have some chocolate milk, please.
Her already questionable maturity suffers another blow. With the crayons in hand, I'm not sure I can stand any more hits.
And for you.
Just coffee, no cream or sugar.
You got it.
Once she walks away, I nudge Marina with my foot. Chocolate milk? Seriously, are you 8? Mimicking my voice, Marina shakes her shoulders.
Black coffee? Seriously? Are you 40?
Hey now, I like the taste of coffee itself.
And I like the taste of milk itself, just with chocolate.
You're a dork.
But you love me.
She chimes back in a sing-song voice. I know what she means, but it still causes a small lump to form in my throat. I swallow, trying to pretend that she didn't hit a little too close to home. I watch her while she goes back to coloring human breakfast hybrids. That was not a word I expected to say today. A phrase, human breakfast hybrids. Her lips are pursed in concentration, and there's a little gleam of white as she bites the edge of one. She seems she's really focused. Surprisingly, she mostly manages to stay inside the lines of the pictures. Rather than trying to use the full dull tip, she switched to the flat round ends, using the edge for more precision. It's kind of working. Without looking up, she starts to chat again.
So, where do we start looking today, Captain?
Oh, you finally acknowledged me as Captain then, huh?
I figured you deserve a turn, just this once.
Thanks, I'll try not to let you down. Anyway, I have literally no idea.
You said you think it's by one of the arches, right? How many arches could there be?
Well, yeah, but that doesn't really... So,
Like,
okay, what is the biggest number
2
you
or
can
3?
think of?
Looks at hands. 9?
Okay, so it's going to be several times more than that. Oh, hello there, Michael. No, you're not Michael. You're Mike. Sorry, Mike. Michael's over somewhere else now. Off in a audio setup upstate.
Greener pastures.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't really narrow it down. Pausing her coloring, she looks up at me.
It doesn't.
Nah, have you seen any pictures of the park?
A couple, I guess. I don't know much about it, though.
Well, they named the park after the arches since there are so many of them. Probably hundreds.
Seriously?
Yeah, some are more famous than others. Let's see. There's Windstone Arch and Double Arch. Those are some of the more famous ones. You've probably seen pictures of those, even if you don't know about it. But there are a ton of lesser-known ones, too, and for all we know, the treasure could be at any one of them that doesn't even have a name.
So we're screwed.
Probably, but that doesn't mean we're giving up. Marina nods in satisfaction, either at my words or the slice of blue ham she just finished coloring. I don't want to lose twice in a row, so I figure we'll go and look around. See if there are any clues. You know, clues. Maybe watch what other people are doing and thinking. What? It wasn't that funny, Marina.
Yeah. I love Blue's Clues.
I was about to ask in a joke if you watched Blue's Clues, but of course. Of course you watch Blue's Clues.
Did you see that video that Steve put up on Twitter recently?
Yeah, it was really nice to get some closure. But that's not the point.
See? You like it too.
Marina nods along, but she has a zoned out look that tells me she's not really listening. Rather, she seems to be staring past me. I turn, trying to figure out what might be attracting her attention. There's nothing except for other groups eating. I make awkward eye contact with the old lady right beside us, and I quickly face forward. Hello? Inspecting the walls? My words seem to break the spell.
Uh-huh.
You totally spaced out there.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I just started thinking. I don't usually do that.
No wonder. That sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
Before I can ask her what about, our waitress returns. Our drinks are balanced on a tray alongside a few other guests. Marina's chocolate milk comes in an enormous tin cup that's the size of my forearm, and there's an entire pot of coffee for me. She sets them down on the table between us.
You girls ready to order?
Whoops, I haven't even looked through the menu once. I flipped through it real quick, settling on a standard meal. You good? Marina nods. I'll have the gentleman's breakfast with bacon, eggs over medium, sourdough toast. Excellent! Excellent. That is the breakfast. I don't eat bacon anymore, but that is the breakfast.
Sub veggie sausage.
Sub veggie sausage. But yeah, the sourdough toast in particular, that lets you know that you've got someone who appreciates the fine value that toast will add to a meal. It's easy to throw a piece of bread and call it toast and be done with it, but no. If you want toast with a diner breakfast, if you want that real satisfactory taste, it needs to be sourdough.
Okay, but
I will not compromise on this.
Consider biscuits.
Biscuits are fine, but biscuits go with different meals. I'm talking about for your standard egg, meat or protein. Get a thing of toast on the side. Maybe some home fries if you're feeling spicy.
Biscuit, sausage gravy,
sourdough,
side of grits.
That's a different meal, though.
It is not. It goes with the bacon and the eggs.
That doesn't mean it's the same meal.
And for you, I'll have the chocolate chip pancake platter. Chocolate chip pancake
You want to try that one again,
platter.
Hun?
Chocolate chip pancake platter. That one with scrambled eggs.
I swear she's a legal adult.
You want the kids' meal or the regular?
I choke on my drink as I laugh, and I feel Marina's foot crash against my leg. Ow. Whimpering at that in the dribble of coffee on my chin, I massage my shin underneath the table. Marina frowns at me, and the waitress gives me a strange look. Then the typical angelic expression returns as Marina places her order.
The regular, please and thanks. We'll have that out for you pretty soon.
Once again, she heads back to the kitchen, heels clicking against the tile floor. When she's out of sight, Marina begins a flurry of kicks to my shins, though these ones aren't hard enough to hurt. Scurrying backwards in my seat, I draw my legs up closer to me. Ow, 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 ow!
Ra ra ra!
Ow! Wait, how have you even seen that?
Rude, 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 rude.
Oh, come on, you were asking for it with the food and the milk. The waitress asking that was just icing on the cake. The pancake.
It's not my fault that you sophisticated adults don't appreciate chocolate like I do.
You have a bigger sweet tooth than anyone I've ever met. Seriously, how many cavities have you had?
None. I brush my teeth twice a day, every day. The last time I went to the dentist, he said my teeth were so shiny he could see his reflection in them.
And when was that? She thinks about it for a minute.
Maybe 3 years?
That doesn't count anymore then.
When was the last time that you had chocolate milk?
Now I have to think about that. I don't drink a whole lot of milk to begin with, and as for chocolate... maybe when I was a little kid? I don't know.
Amber, you poor, poor thing.
She slides her giant cup towards me, sloshing some over the sides in her haste.
Try it.
Dredges of milk surround the rim of the cup as Marina's sipping. Across from me, she waits, looking eager. I'm surprised she's not bouncing around like normal. After sighing exaggeratedly, I pick up the cup and down a large gulp, trying not to think silly cliche thoughts about indirect kisses. You know, for someone who's She's not in denial, but she certainly has played her fair share of Yuri VNs. Or she knows the tropes.
Yeah.
She knows what's happening here.
Just because I'm living the trope doesn't mean I have to do so without examining it. Doesn't mean I have to embrace it.
Oh my god, my life has become an anime. When did this happen? To my surprise, the drink is really good. It's got a deeper, rich flavor than the stuff you get in jugs at the store. I can tell that they made it themselves in the kitchen. It's not overwhelmingly sweet. In fact, it's perfect. Damn. I don't know if I'm disappointed or not. Giving her the satisfaction of being right, my pride aches. Let's push the cup back towards Marina. She receives it with a sly smirk.
So?
She draws out the word, already knowing my answer. It wasn't bad. That's all I'm willing to concede. She laughs and takes another huge sip. After setting the cup down, she has a thick milk mustache on her upper lip. I watch with inappropriate fascination as her tongue comes out and cleans it away. Could you... slow motion? One more time? Just create another milk mustache? Oh, okay. Okay, maybe all the sounds kind of killed it. Marina grabs the sheet she was coloring and pushes that over to me as well.
Wanna color something? Well, you're acting like a kid and all.
I roll my eyes but snatch away the crayons that she offers. Most of the pictures, all of them, breakfast foods with faces and dated outfits, have already been colored in. There's a stylish looking piece of bread with a dress and a wig that's still blank though. I colored the dress with the green crayon as lightly as I can and use the lighter shade of red for the hair. When I'm done, I hold up the page to show Marina. It's you. She leans in.
Huh?
The colors. Look, you're toast. It's you. You're a toast now. What? What, don't you want to say something about not becoming bread?
Being bread is fine, actually.
That's what I thought. She collapses backwards as if my pun physically wounded her. She shakes her head and looks down while I crack up.
That was even worse than Sam I Amber.
Uh-huh. You better step up your game some.
Please stop.
I don't plan to. The only thing that saves her is the arrival of our waitress right then. That's pretty fast service considering how busy this place is. I love how she doesn't even laugh at him. She's just like, please stop. I know where this is going and I want no part in it. Keeping in the style with our oversized beverages, the portions are enormous. The plate that Marina's pancakes are served on is so large it looks like it could have been used as a shield back in medieval times. The pancakes form a tower that is probably half a foot tall. Pancakes. My own meal arrives on a similarly giant plate. We have to scramble and move our drinks around just to make room. There's hardly any empty space.
Get you girls anything else?
No thanks, I'll be pickling half this meal and using it as rations for the winter. Marina shakes her head, but I look down at the table as I mumble. I got a glass of chocolate, please. The waitress departs yet again. I glance over, prepared for the inevitable teasing, but instead Marina just stares at her food, dumbstruck.
Maybe I should have gotten the kid's size.
I finish about half of my meal before the dismay sets in. There's no way I can possibly finish this. Most people I know couldn't eat this much food in one sitting. Every bite is a struggle. Marina's faring similarly. Her plate of eggs is nearly untouched just because there's so much pancake to work through. And I can tell that pancake fatigue, that feeling when you get halfway through them and then you realize you're sick of pancakes, has long since set in for her. She cuts off a bite, looks at it for a while, then sets her fork down.
I think I'm done.
Yeah, you and me both. The largest plate I have consists of a mess of potatoes, cheese, and bacon with the eggs laid over it. And then, of course, there was the toast, the fruit, and the sausage, which each got their own smaller plate. I could have ordered from the kids' menu, too, if I had known this is how it would be.
I don't think I'll ever want pancakes again.
For once, I don't have any snarky remarks. Anyone would be sick of them after what she just went through. We'll get some boxes to go. At least we have food for a week now if we ever get stranded. After our waitress brings our bill in some styrofoam containers, we head back out to the RV. Looks like traffic hasn't gotten much better in the 45 minutes that we've been out of it. Cars are still pressed bumper to bumper. The sidewalks are also full with swarms of pedestrians making better time than the traffic. I wonder if it's always this busy or if people are just deciding not to drive.
That's a good Marina face.
It's a very good Marina face. Okay, what are they listening to in the car right now? Leaving on a southern train only yesterday. I thought it was appropriate. Once we're ready to go, I take us over to the edge of the parking lot. As expected, the constant stream of cars makes it impossible for us to get out. I watch impatiently for an opening in traffic, but I can't see one for miles. Oh, come on. I press my forehead to the steering wheel. We've been sitting here for minutes now.
Is there another exit we could use onto a different street?
I look and check the mirrors, but I don't see anything. The edges of the diner's property are surrounded by a cream-colored fence. Nope. Marina begins to sigh, but that quickly turns into a sound of surprise.
Amber, look.
She points past my face and out the window. An older lady in a little hatchback sedan has stopped to let us out. The two of us wave at her as we finally lumber onto the road itself.
Yay, I'm glad somebody was nice at least.
Yeah, still a long way to go, though. The long line of cars extends as far as I can see before it finally goes out of sight around a bend in the road.
Why do you think it's so much busier here than the other places we've been?
Arches is one of the most popular national parks. Like, when you think of parks in the U.S., you think of Arches, the Grand Canyon, and how do I pronounce this one? I think it's Yosemite?
No, common mistake really. It's Yosemite, but that's
really?
an easy mistake that anyone could make, and it's not embarrassing.
Yeah, no, I think I'd be pretty I think I'd be pretty ashamed of myself if I thought it was Yosemite instead of Yosemite.
No, I don't think you should be.
So I think a lot of people will be at those big spots.
Think it'll be like Shiprock again?
What, with like the megaphone and law enforcement?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Probably not. These parks are a lot bigger and more spread out. Way harder to have people watching. Their only option would be to straight up close.
And then you have horrible people who sneak in or out of bounds anyway.
God, could you imagine those kinds of people? Who would ever do that?
Nobody we know, that's for sure.
It's okay. Once we're filthy rich, we can make a donation to the canyon or something.
Let's just buy the canyon and then pay to have everything reconstructed.
Perfect. Takes a while, but we finally make it past all the stoplights. After that, it's still slow going, but at least it's steady. Maybe 15 minutes pass crawling through town before things start to pick up. Still a couple of miles away, I can finally see the exit for the park itself. Some people continue past staying on the highway, but most are in line for Arches. At least there's a whole lane for people like us. Traffic is congested like my nose in winter, but the end is in sight. May as well get comfy, we're gonna be here a while. Taking my advice, Marina leans back and props her feet up on the dash. Her dress bunches up by her knees, leaving most of her legs exposed. I sneak a few guilty glances from the corner of my eye. If I didn't know better, I'd think that all the skin she shows was intentional, but it's Marina, which means she's probably not even conscious about this stuff. Or me, for that matter. Wonder if she knows that I'm into her.
Like what you see?
What? That's remarkably forward of you. Are you talking about the arches?
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, I'm really interested in those curves.
Yeah. Anyone would be, really.
No love for that curves joke because they're the arches. The arches are curves, and she's saying she was into those curves, but mostly that's used when someone's talking about how they feel towards a woman's body. They like those curves. That could also mean arches, because they're at Arches National Park. You get it?
Yes.
To distract myself, I grab a box of the tapes. I kept the music off earlier so Marina could sleep. Want to pick this time?
Sure.
Setting it in her lap, she begins to rummage through the bin. I'm pretty sure that she knows all the music I have by now. We listen to every tape at least once, and I have an okay feel for what she likes and what she doesn't. Sometimes she taps her fingers to the beat or hums along when she likes what we're listening to. If she doesn't, she flat out ignores it. The one she settles on is an album of instrumental folk songs, very stereotypical Western sounding. It's a little high energy for just sitting still in traffic, but that's alright. It's better than nothing. We just listen to the music, which I've cranked up loud while we wait. The album is nearly half over by the time we finally make it through the park gates. Do you have Pentangle? I really like Basket of Light. Beyond them, traffic mercifully lets up some. Not because there are fewer cars, there are more cars than rocks to be seen, but a lot of those are pulled off on the shoulder or crammed into parking lots. Nearly every inch of pavement that doesn't have a car on it has a person instead. Also, there are different trails and forks in the road, so not everyone is going in the same direction now. Being able to drive without having to tap the brakes every couple of seconds is a relief. A pickup truck towing a trailer pulls off the shoulder ahead and back onto the road, so I take his spot. Putting it in park, I take a swig of stone cold coffee. Want to grab the pamphlets? We snagged a couple of brochures back at the diner. They don't have a whole lot of info, but they're a starting point. Marina retrieves them and spreads them out on the table like puzzle pieces. Alongside them is the journal. My spine has lost all strength and the pages just flop around. So the journal says it's buried between two things.
Right, but something out of the way.
Peering out of the windshield to the expanses beyond, there's a lot that could be considered out of the way. It had to be something memorable, or else he'd come back and have no idea where to go.
And anything memorable is probably going to be something popular, right?
Exactly, yeah. She flips through some of the pamphlets. They all have the same information on the same landmarks, just with slightly different pictures. Wait. She's about to toss one of them, but it catches my eye. Hand me that one. Marina passes over the brochure, and I turn to one of the inner pages. It only has one picture and a longer paragraph of text. I read it aloud. And one of the most famous landmarks in all the park, Double Arch, is a fan favorite. Recognizable for its two elegant curves, Double Arch can be accessed via a short hike and is open to exploration. I hold up the flyer so she can see the picture. It's of two huge arches of stone, connected at one side but otherwise perpendicular from each other. She snatches it out of my hands for a closer look, nearly cutting my fingers.
Oh my god, you think it's between the two of these?
That makes sense, right? You definitely remember how it looks, and it's kind of out of the way. The papers whiz past my face as Marina hurls them backwards, and she points forward.
Full steam ahead.
I throw the RV back into drive, and we pull out onto the road again. There are signs everywhere for Double Arch, so we don't need a map to get that we got at the gate. We pass signs for other landmarks too, some with pretty weird names. There's the Parade of Elephants, for one thing, which is the same direction as Ham Rock, which they only play on ham radio. I thought it was funnier than that. There's even a phallic-sounding rock simply called the Organ.
I see.
All of those are down exits we don't take. Instead, we soon end up in the back of yet another traffic jam. Marina stares at the window as we creep along. Where we are right now is nearly indistinguishable from the highways we've spent so much time on. There are a few actual arches around, but none distinct enough to get any real attention. Inch by inch, we advance down the road until finally we come to the parking lot for Double Arch. The problem is it's totally full. Not just busy, but packed. Every parking lot spot is taken, but a few cars jammed into empty space that's clearly not meant for that. Like lice, people swarm up and down the arch itself, visible even from the road. At least this time it isn't off limits.
Looks like everyone else had the same idea.
Don't sound so glum. We can still go take a look.
If we can ever find somewhere to park.
Yeah, that is a pretty big if. The entire caravan passes by the parking lot. There's at least a dozen cars behind me, too. Maybe half a mile up the road, we come across another lot. Up for a bit of walking?
Yeah.
I quickly take one of the remaining spaces. There are a few openings here. Looks like most people aren't as willing to walk as Marina is. Some of the cars behind us pull in, too. We opt to leave the metal detector and other equipment in the RV for now. If we see anything that looks promising, we can come back and grab it. The walk back up to Double Arch doesn't take long, and it's nice to be outdoors again. We have to stick to the very edge of the road to avoid the stream of cars flowing towards us. Seems there was more than a dozen behind us after all. There's a short hike from the Double Arch parking lot to the arch itself. It isn't an easy one, and we don't even break a sweat. Up close, it's obvious that there aren't many people here just to see the sights. Almost everyone is carrying a shovel or other tool. There's a pair of park rangers watching, but they don't seem to be intervening at all. They just slouch against a wooden fence, looking defeated. Can you imagine how big of celebrities we'd be if anyone we here knew we found the Shiprock treasure? I whisper as quietly as I can to Marina.
Right? I was thinking about that earlier. I kind of wanted to show off, but that's probably not a good idea.
That's remarkably prescient of you. Thank you. Like anyone would believe us anyway, but you don't want to have your face all over the New York Times as one of the girls who found the treasure?
Being in the local newspaper is on my bucket list.
Dream big, Marina.
And my friends from school would totally have a heart attack when they found out. But don't they always say to keep it a secret if you win the lottery?
Yeah, otherwise people will never leave you alone. You get all sorts of messages from people you used to know or long-lost relatives.
I have enough not lost relatives to deal with.
Really? How many?
Enough.
How many is that?
Plenty.
10? 17? Am I getting warmer or colder?
Yes. Plus, I don't want to get kidnapped and held for ransom or something like that. What about you?
No way. I'm just going to quietly retreat into one of my 3 mansions when this is all over.
Oh, you're only going to buy 3?
Yeah, I got to save the rest of my 14 new motorhomes after all. She giggles.
Do I get to drive one of them?
Why not? But you could buy your own, you know.
No way. I'll just come bother you if I need one.
We've gotten as close to the arches as we can. The mob of sweaty people is too thick for us to push our way through. There are dozens of people sweeping over the dusty ground with metal detectors. Hanging back around the edge, Marina's smile fades away quickly. Yeah, this is a bit of a mess. People jostle and push each other out of the way. It's hard to believe anyone is actually prospecting so much as they are just trying not to lose their spot.
Maybe we should come back later?
I don't know if it'll be any better later, but maybe. I guess, though, if the treasure is here, I feel like someone would have found it by now. Just like back at Canyon de Celli. You know, this must have been going on for a few days now.
Yeah.
All the enthusiasm she had just a minute ago when we were joking around has evaporated in the desert sun. A rock slips past my foot as she kicks the dirt. I poke her and she yelps in surprise.
Ah!
Hold on, I'm going to do it again. Ready? Poke.
Ah!
Poke.
Ah!
Oh, that's a very good feature you have. You know, I'm not saying we give up. I'm just saying we regroup and re-strategize. We can go see the rest of the park in the meantime. Didn't you say you wanted to see this place for a while?
Yeah, I guess.
It's obvious that she's still bummed, but there's nothing I can do about that. Once we're back in the motorhome, we leave the busy main road ASAP and spend a while seeing the sights from our air-conditioned comfort. Rena's mood improves steadily throughout the day, counteracted only by our growing hunger. As we pull back into Moab, we're both ravenous.
Gee, I could go for some chocolate chip pancakes.
Want to just heat up our leftovers? Guessing that's a no?
I'm not ready for pancakes again yet. I need a day, or maybe a week.
Let me know if you see somewhere you want me to stop. Now that it's approaching evening, there aren't any more massive traffic jams going through Moab. We can cruise through at a steady pace, just like when we first got to Arches. Until I slam on the brakes. You're fucking kidding me. Marina had been slouching, but bolts upright at the sudden stop.
What happened?
Just a few feet ahead, in the parking lot of the diner we ate at this morning, is Mariah's motorhome. Look at it. It's them. I point and Marina leans forward. When she recognizes their RV, she grins.
Should we go see them?
What? No way! That's an extra reason to avoid that place.
Aw, but Amber, maybe we could see about teaming up for the treasure here or something.
That would never happen. Mariah would rather lose every time than have our help. Besides, it's not like...
Please?
Already giving up in my head. I give Marina one last desperate look. Seriously?
Yeah. Even if we don't team up, it'd be nice to see them again.
Not sure if nice is the word I'd use, but despite my muttering, I flick on my blinker and change lanes, pulling into the parking lot yet again. Like this morning, it seems pretty busy. I have to park next to Mariah's RV because it's the only open spot large enough. Marina skips out and towards the entrance while I trudge behind her. It doesn't take long to find the trio. Even amongst all the eccentric people that the hunt has drawn, their questionable fashion sense stands out. They have a large table near the back, bigger than the one Marina and I ate at this morning. Joseph and Tess share a bench, while Mariah's is spread across the opposite table. It's probably supposed to look sultry, but comes across more like the bench is devouring her. When she sees them, Marina scurries to the back, hand raised in greeting. I bring up the rear, still slow.
Hey guys!
Tess and Joseph both wave, the latter smiling when he sees us. Mariah looks surprised for a second, but then scowls and turns towards the wall. The feeling is mutual. Hey, imagine it's running you two here. Just getting to town?
Nope, we've been here all day. We actually ate breakfast at this place this morning.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, you're always a couple of steps behind us, I guess. Mariah's glare is stonier than a double arch itself, but of course she keeps looking at the wall instead of at us. Joseph laughs, though. Here, let's break bread. He and Tess scoot down the booth, making some room with Marina, which Marina promptly fills. I'm left next to the smoldering fury that is Mariah. She moves her leg just a little, but enough for me to sit down. Thanks. Sorry to barge in on you guys like this. That's no problem. The more the merrier.
I hope you don't expect us to cover your bill.
Groaning, Joe puts his hand over Tessa's ears. Could you at least try not to be a pain in the ass between the hours of 5 p.m. and 6 in the morning? It'd make my life a lot easier. He uncovers Tessa's ears and gives us a blank look. She's right, though. There's no way we can afford that.
We had to dine and dash for breakfast.
So what about you? How long have you been here?
It's got in around lunchtime. It's been forever and a half stuck in traffic, though.
He sounds worn out. I wonder if Mariah ever lets him drive, or makes him. Us too. We were going to look around Double Arch, but it was too busy.
You took one look at it and just kept driving. Didn't even want to try it.
This said anyone who bothered to get out was a You weren't supposed to hear that.
No, I'm interested. Let her continue.
Told you, this girl heals everything. Anyway, we were thinking about heading back this evening to see if maybe cleared out some.
We were gonna do that too. I was telling Amber that we should see if maybe you guys wanted to team up and we could look together.
Hell no. Fist bump. Now I'll wash the sand, but thank you. The two of us look at each other. It seems that all we ever agree on is not sticking together. No offense to you, Joe. Just don't want to, I trail off trying to think of an excuse that didn't want to deal with Mariah, which is the truth. But Joseph just laughs and waves it off.
Now I get what you mean. Didn't think Mariah would be too fond of splitting the goods either.
Marina frowns but perks back up after just a second. Soon a waitress comes to take our order. Marina and I are careful to order meals on the smaller side, just sandwiches with fries. On the other hand, Mariah's orders comes with a bunch of requirements as to what can and can't be on it. By the time she's made so many substitutions and extras, it hardly resembles the item described in the menu.
So I can tell you ladies that it's not Parade of the Elephants. Delicate Arch was no-go too. Think we might try Skyline next.
Good luck, I guess. I wonder how many of those the miner would have known about, though. Pretty sure this park wasn't found until after the gold rush. Joseph shrugs.
Amber knows a lot about these places. She's like an encyclopedia.
I have Wikipedia on my phone. You've seen me use it.
Oh.
You know what Wikipedia is, right?
Let's go with yes.
I can feel my face flush like always when she praises me. Not really. I just know bits and pieces.
Still something to be proud of. Aren't many girls your age care about anything that happened more than 5 years ago.
Nothing really special. I just spent a ton of time on the road when I was younger.
That's so.
I appreciate he's leaving it an open-ended question rather than prying. Marina looks at me, eyes wide, probably to see if I'm about to cry or something. I try to be nonchalant. Yeah, until I was in middle school, my grandpa used to drive me all over the country.
Sounds like a fun time.
It was. He, guess there's no point in hiding it. Plus, Joseph has this kind of disarming air to him. Like he exudes calmness. Passed away a little while ago. Still a little, I tap my throat, hoping that gets my point across. It does, and Joseph nods.
Sorry for your loss. I know how hard that can be.
Thank you. Marina's eyes flick between me and Joseph. She must be pretty worried, so I force a smile, even though I can feel that growing glumness that shows up anytime I talk about Gramps. Eating this dork has helped out a lot, though. I jerk my chin towards Marina, who looks shocked, as if I could be talking about anyone else. Spent a while moping around before that.
Family is good.
I blink. It's so easy to forget she's there.
Sometimes I forget I'm here too.
Do they like keep you in a box? You're so tiny. Yeah, definitely. I hadn't really thought of it before, but Tess seems to be in a similar situation to what I was, growing up on the go and all. I'm curious how it happened, but I won't ask. It's not my place. A far-off look seeps into Joe's face. He stares out the window like he's gazing at something 100 yards away. Mariah glances up at him for a split second, if that. She looks even a little concerned, but then it's right back to business as usual. She leers over at me and shoves herself back into the conversation.
So, what are you gonna do
Huh?
when all this is over?
She gestures around. Dinner?
No, dumbass, I meant the treasure hunt. Forget it, I don't actually care.
Don't know yet. Mare and I have been kind of talking. Mar. Is it Mar? Right? Mar and I have been, like, for Marina.
Yeah, I guess.
Mar and I have been talking about that.
She's gonna buy 3 mansions.
Yeah, that. I'll have plenty of time to figure out stuff in my mansions. 3 of us chuckle, but then the conversation trails off. Tess and Marina are working on coloring Tess's menu. From what I can see, it has different characters than the one this morning. They look like they made a good team. Each of them work on separate pictures, but switch from time to time. So Marina will color the hair on one character, then Tess gets the clothes. Despite not talking at all, they don't ever get in each other's way. Joseph also observes from above, smugging slightly. He's usually the one to play with Tess, so it must be nice for her to have some company. On the other hand, like a jug of milk, Mariah's mood seems to be getting more and more sour. I don't even know what she's mad about this time. Maybe something that happened before we showed up, or maybe it's because we showed up. Either way, she ought to have memorized every single detail of the wall she's been staring at this entire time. She doesn't look up until her food arrives a little bit later. It's a good thing we have a large table because there's hardly any room left once all the plates are set down. My sandwich is so big it takes 2 hands to hold, and I have enough fries to sustain Ireland for the winter. When Marina picks up her sandwich, all the ingredients pour out the back. She quickly gives up trying to reconstruct it and just uses a knife and fork instead. Watching the other 3 eat is amusing too. Joseph chews with slow, measured bites, whereas Mariah attacks her meal like it owes her money. Across from her, Tess is cutting up chicken tenders with surgical precision. Marina catches me staring and smiles at me covertly. Seems she noticed too. Mariah's the first to finish eating. I'm just a couple of bites behind. That's embarrassing. She wipes her face with a napkin, then finally looks at me.
Where are you 2 staying?
It could be an innocent question, or it could be a trap. Around. We'll find a parking lot somewhere.
You thieves are gonna have a late start then.
I guess. Don't tell me you planned ahead and got a campsite.
Don't be stupid, of course not. Wait, that's not what I meant.
I scoff as she backtracks to keep from insulting herself.
What I mean is, there's no way they're gonna bother checking every single permit. There's too much going on right now. Just pick a nice spot, out of the way, don't make trouble, and it'll be fine.
Joe flatly stares at Mariah. Easier said than done. Good luck with that. I don't want to take the risk. On foot, if you're trespassing and get caught, most of the time you'll just get thrown out, but I don't want our license plate getting written down or something if we were to do what she suggests. Mariah shrugs.
Suit yourself. Don't say I didn't ever try to help you. Didn't ever.
You ever camp here before, Amber? Sounds like you know the place.
Long time ago. I don't remember the whole lot, just good at remembering names, I guess.
Useful skill to have.
Yeah, it used to be before we'd go anywhere. Gramps and I would research the place we were going. History and stuff like that.
Sure learned a lot of useful information from him, huh?
Yeah, always wanted to make him proud. He used to say I was a real chip off the... My words catch up in my throat. Not because I'm emotional, but because I just realized something. Or remembered it, rather. Mariah and Joe know it too. Mine and Mariah's eyes lock and she bolts up at my words. The other 2 look confused. We're leaving! What was it?
It's unclear. We'll find out.
Chip off... Oh, there's got to be something like... There's going to be a formation called something like that. Mariah sprints for the door without paying, and I nearly yank Marina's arm out of its socket as we run to the exit. Other diners turned to watch us, but I barely noticed them.
Amber, what the heck?
Her voice is shaky from being jolted around. I know where the treasure is. I yell behind me as I turn to look and see the trios exit the restaurant close behind us. Joe's carrying Tess on his back. I know where it is. I say it again to assure myself. We reach the motorhome seconds after Mariah and her crew reach theirs. I practically hurl Marina up and into her spot before I leap into my own. Not even bothering to buckle up, I hurry towards the road. Why does she have pink hair now?
It happens.
Less than a minute, we're already falling behind. I watch Mariah's taillights as she speeds up the road, horn blaring to scare away cars unfortunate enough to be in her lane. I'm going as fast as I dare to, worried about cops that could be lurking around in one of the bends in the road. But I can't let her out of my sights. There's no room to pass just yet, but I have to watch for an opportunity. With one hand, Marina clutches the headrest bar of her seat. Then she leans over past my face, nearly causing me to swerve from shock. What are you? She grabs my seatbelt and buckles me in. Then she does the same for herself.
Okay, now that we're at least not going to die if you hit something, can you tell me exactly what is happening?
She sounds a little frantic and a little curious. Okay. So do you remember Balanced Rock? It wasn't one of the places we visited earlier today, but it's one of the spots that's on posters in a lot of the ads. Is that the one that got toppled over recently?
I don't know.
I remember one of these natural formations got toppled over because, we can't have nice things.
I think so, or at least hearing about it.
There used to be another really famous rock right next to it. Smaller, but a similar shape and everything. They called it Chip Off the Old Block.
What do you mean, used to be?
I was getting to that. A long time ago, like 50 years or something, it fell. And you can't even tell it apart from the rest of the rocks on the ground.
50 years? So that was...
Her eyes go wide in understanding, a fact which I look away from Mariah's rear to take in.
So it was still standing when the miner came through.
Yeah, exactly. I'll bet you anything he had the treasure between Balanced Rock and what used to be Chip. I look over again to smile at her, only to see genuine admiration and awe in her face. Her eyes are wide, her mouth slightly open. Like always, I can't look at her for too long. Oh, help! I was trying to do too many things at once. I'm good now, though. Thank you. Like always, I can't look at her for too long, or it starts to make me uncomfortable. Nothing I've said or done is that impressive. Even Mariah knew about Chip. Instead of singing my praises again, she just faces ahead with a little smile. Then her face crumples up.
Amber!
That's my name. I see it. The semi has begun pulling out into the road ahead of us. There's no passing lane, so I can't get around him that way. Damn it! I tap the brakes since I'll have to stop and wait for him to get onto the highway. Ahead, I can still see Mariah, but just barely. A few of the cars between us have exited, but her lead has grown. Oh. And so I make a quick, reckless decision. Hold on to something.
What are you?
Tokyo drifting.
Oh, fuck.
Blue sparks. I don't wait for her to finish her question, since she grabs onto the seat as she asks it. To answer, I yank the wheel to the left and into the other lane, even though it's a no-pass zone. Headlights far ahead are speeding towards us, maybe a quarter mile away, getting closer. A concrete barrier prevents me from going any further to the left. I smash the gas pedal to the floor, putting all my weight on it. Marina begins to moan with dread at the oncoming car. It's a wordless sound, or maybe the start of my name. My heart is in my throat, and I can feel beads of sweat on my forehead. One slides down to my eye, but I can't wipe it away. We're even with the semi now, who seems to be stopping. He probably knows me. He's waiting for me to complete my illegal pass. The car ahead of us is close enough that I can see it in our headlight beams. It's a maroon SUV. They're braking as they approach. But I'm still accelerating, going so fast that I couldn't stop in time even if I wanted to. Like a missile, we shoot forward. I'm at least double the speed limit right now. We come even with the front of the semi, which is hardly rolling. The SUV has come to a complete stop, but there's barely any room between it and the semi now. And then suddenly we're past the cab of the truck. I wrench the wheel to the right, hard right, throwing us back into our own lane. We zoom past the stopped SUV, who gives me a well-deserved horn blaring. The bassy sound of the semi's horn also booms behind us. But it doesn't matter because we're okay. We didn't die. The need to breathe hits me and I realize we've been holding it in. I sigh, adrenaline still coursing through me.
Oh my god, Amber!
Her voice cracks and she starts to laugh hysterically. I do too, laughing away the anxiety of the last half minute. It felt like so much longer.
We almost died.
Yeah, we did.
In a completely avoidable traffic accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no reason for me to do any of that.
Uh-huh.
And it's not entirely over yet. Don't get too comfy. Hurry and shoot back to where she was hanging on.
Uh-oh.
Just ahead, Mariah still has the lead, but it's shrinking quickly. I wonder if she saw how I caught up. Jamming the gas pedal down again, I start to narrow the distance even more. She takes the exit for Arches just a few seconds ahead of me. We blaze through the entry point, flashing our passes at rangers who barely have time to check them. Even into the darkness, there are lots of people on the sides of the road. Wonder if anyone else has had the same realization we did about Chip. Mariah's starting to gain ground again, so I mash the accelerator farther down, but her motorhome is newer than mine, and it's hard for me to keep up. If I'm going to beat her there, I'll have to do it soon. I check to make sure that Marina is still holding on tight. She is. Just a few feet behind Mariah's RV, I illegally swing into the other lane yet again. Oh my god, they got a cut in?
Oh my god.
This is even more risky because of the way the road curves all over the canyon. An oncoming car could come around a bend and completely blindside us. Quick! Marina, I need you to grab that secret weapon. I need the red turtle shell.
Ah.
I hope it doesn't happen. By pushing the RV to its absolute limits, I'm able to break even with Mariah. Looking over, I can see a wild flare in her eyes. Hair disheveled, her expression changes to one of shock when she notices us beside her. I relish in the look of disbelief as I nudge the wheel to the right. There's a god-awful scraping as the motorhome brushes against Mariah's. Her eyes, as well as Marina's, widen.
What the
Seconds after we pull apart,
fuck?
Mariah's vehicle lurches towards us, and again there's a sound that makes me want to rip my ears off. I fight to keep control of the motorhome and stay on the road. Awestruck bystanders watch as we pass by, but I hardly register them. Still neck and neck, we continue toward balanced rock. Though insane luck or divine intervention or something, the road ahead is clear. I won't try to shove them off the road again because there are now steep drop-offs that could actually be fatal, but I do have to do something to gain an edge. Just arriving seconds before her isn't enough. A sign, visible for just a split second, informs us that there are 5 miles to Balanced Rock. What might have been an error for an exit has been scuffed to illegibility. Maybe that's our chance. Up ahead, barely illuminated by a flickering the road splits into 2 directions. A sign in the middle is smashed and folded in on itself, probably the result of someone's reckless driving. Don't know anyone like that, though. One of these paths leads to Balanced Rock, but I don't know which. I'm willing to bet Mariah doesn't know either. From Marina's window, I can see Mariah shoot me in one final death grab before they rocket off down the exit. We stay on the other branch, though I'm back in the proper lane now. Just gotta hope it's the right one. As I start to calm down yet again, I realize my legs are shaking. Marina cranes around to watch Mariah's vehicle, which is quickly disappearing into the murk. Once it's fully out of sight, she turns back to me, her face as white as her knuckles. You okay there, sport? Champ? You doing alright? Guilt stabs me the way I may have seriously traumatized her. With 2 incidents within minutes of each other. After taking a deep breath, she unclenches her fists.
Can we never, ever do that again? That was insane. Super insane. Like, oh my god, I thought I was going to die. I think I might have. Wait. No. Wait. Did we die? Am I just imagining this now?
I don't think you could imagine stuff if you were dead, kid.
That's the kind of thing a dead person would say.
How would you know? Can you talk to dead people?
You can? Like in that one movie where it was all about the guy who could talk to dead people, except...
Fine. I am 90% sure we are not dead then.
Okay, that's fine. That's over my threshold.
Okay.
90%. That's not bad. And being a ghost might be kind of cool, too. You could spy on people without them ever knowing.
I'll keep that in mind if there's ever someone I want to haunt. Our voices are shaky, even though our conversation isn't serious. I keep checking the rear view, expecting to see the headlights of Mariah's approaching vengeance, but so far we're in the clear. Each passing minute that we don't see the rock itself, though, makes me worried that we took the wrong turn. Right on the verge of turning around and tailing Mariah, another sign suddenly looms up ahead of us. We've reached Balanced Rock. I slow down as we approach the parking area. While not empty, there are far fewer people here than there were at Double Arch earlier today. A good number of them look like they just might be sightseers, since they're standing around talking or looking at the stars instead of searching. Parking is easy, since there are a lot of open spaces. When I stand up, my legs wobble. I stumble, grabbing Marina's shoulder for support. She smiles at me, but doesn't say anything. No more jokes to crack. It's time to get serious. We grab our equipment and hurry out into the night air. Solid ground feels foreign after the rocketing motorhome. This must be what it feels like to return from a voyage at sea. Marina, the landlubber, doesn't seem to be having any trouble now that we're not barreling along the highway. The spring in her step has returned, and I worry that she's going to bang the metal detector against the ground as she half walks, half skips. Some of the other people watch us go, but no one follows or says anything. They probably assume we're just next to the line of failures. A line which must be pretty long given how much trash and misplaced earth there is around here. Pangs of guilt remind me yet again of the broken brick at Canyon de Celli, and I make my umpteenth resolution to be more careful. Just ahead, Marina's... This visual novel is full of a bunch of terrible advice.
Yeah?
Yeah, don't... No matter how much you got your Yuri goggles on, don't ever get involved in a road race, especially with a motorhome.
Yeah?
That seems like a poor decision. Just ahead, Marina's come to a stop. Head tilted back, and can tell she's admiring balanced rock. It's certainly an impressive view. Someday I'd like to take her back to all these places we've gone, but without the pressure of the treasure hunt rushing us, just taking in the sights. I slow my steps a little so I can keep watching her from behind. Maybe sensing me, she spins around and waves.
Hurry up!
Yelling, even though I'm close enough to hear her normal volume level, I pick up the pace once more.
So, where was Chip?
Over there, to the right. There's a large stone wall besides Balanced Rock itself, which with a short slope between them. It was right at the edge of that little hill.
So, where that pile of rocks is now?
Yep, that's the spot. You could tell there didn't used to be anything there, but you can't tell that there used to be anything there, but I've seen pictures in the atlases Gramps kept around or in the history books he liked to read. Compared to Balanced Rock, Chip off the old block looked tiny, but it was actually a decent size. There's a pile of stones at the base that are probably Chip's remains. They're indistinguishable from the rest of the red rocks, though. Some are as big as my head, or even bigger. It's hard to tell if anyone else has picked through here, but since there aren't any shovel marks or holes, I'm guessing not.
Where do we start?
I think for a moment. First, let's get the easy stuff out of the way. You go check that side with the metal detector, and I'll check this one. We sweep over the ground between the hill where Chip once stood and the massive stone wall beside it. Nothing. Okay, that's pretty much what I expected. I lean my metal detector against the wall and go back to the pile of rocks. Just check over the places that I uncover, okay? Marina nods, holding her detector at the ready. She reminds me of a surgeon about to perform an operation. I roll aside some of the rocks with my feet, but most are so big that I have to stoop down and use my hands. There are more of them than I thought, and soon I'm sweaty and sore.
You want any help?
Nah. I'm panting. Just keep scanning. She does so, dutifully retracing my steps. Still, nothing. After a couple of minutes, I stand up and take a swig from a water bottle. I'm glad I remembered to bring them this time. Marina sets down her metal detector to do the same.
You think Tess and them are okay?
Why wouldn't they be?
Don't you think Mariah's gonna flip out when she realizes she took the wrong turn?
Probably. That's her fault, though.
Not like you would have let her go down this side of the road.
Hey, I did what I had to.
Uh-huh, but you're never doing that again, okay?
If we get the next treasure too, I won't have to.
When we get it, you meanie.
Right, when. Only one more to go after this, one more frantic search, and then...
Draw 2, then discard 2, then you may untap up to 3 lands.
Oh no, no one told me she was a magic dork. Unsubscribe. I drain my water bottle and crumple it up before shoving it into my pocket. Break's over, back to work. I pop my back and resume moving rocks out of the way. I've been working from the outer edge of the rock pile inward since they're more concentrated in the center. Like a shadow, Marina continues to stick to me, going where I go. Nearly 10 minutes of uninterrupted shuffling pass. By now I'm expecting Mariah to have caught up or to get here soon. But she never arrives. Maybe she just gave up. Although knowing Mariah, that's just wishful thinking. I've just finished moving a torso-sized rock when it happens. The metal detector begins to chirp, bright and earnest. Marina and I exchange a look, and I nod.
I'll get the shovel.
It's leaning up against the wall by the second metal detector. Marina grabs it and starts back towards me, then doubles back to set her detector aside as well. I move to take the shovel from her, but she holds it away, shaking her head.
Nuh-uh, you moved all the rocks.
Yeah, but She frowns at me, and I can tell this is an argument I won't win.
I want to diggy hole.
What? If you want hole that badly, we can talk about it.
Diggy, diggy hole.
Are you trying to make yourself sound infantilized? Do you think that's an admirable quality to have?
No.
Okay, fine. Be careful. Just don't throw out your shoulder.
I know what I'm doing.
And she stabs the ground like she's wielding a salad fork. It bounces off with a jolt. You need to go at it with more of an angle, like you're trying to slide it into the ground. I move behind her and adjust her arms a little. Her shoulders are damp with sweat, though. I'm drenched with it. She tenses up when I first touch her, but relaxes almost immediately. It's enough to make me self-conscious, though, and I take a quick step back. Sorry, I'm mumbling.
Oh no, you're fine. You just surprised me.
Her voice is higher than usual. It's okay. You should have it by now.
No. Come back. Help out some more. I don't think I have it at all,
It's
really.
Good. You're good.
No.
Nodding, Marina jabs at the ground again. She scoops out a little bit of dirt and dumps it aside. Watching her dig is painful. Either the ground is hard or she's not strong enough to make fast progress. Whatever the reason, it's slow going, but she refuses my repeated offer to take over, so with my hands on my hips, I watch as the hole very slowly gets deeper. She's reached the depth of maybe a foot or so when the shovel thumps against something that isn't dirt. Our eyes instantly meet. I stoop down and brush a little bit of the dirt away from the shovel blade. Sure enough, I can feel rough wood just under my fingertips.
Is it?
It's... Now she forces the shovel towards me.
I don't want to mess it up.
Okay, look out. She steps back a couple of feet but leans forward to watch. I scrape at the dirt around the spot that we hit, trying to find where the edges are. Once I reveal one corner, I start to dig off thin slices of dirt next to it. Soon the outline of the whole box is visible. I hear Marina suck in a sharp breath. My heart is pounding with the same cautious excitement I felt at Shiprock. It hardly feels real, and yet, well, there's only a 10% chance that I'm dead, and it isn't. I lift the box out of the ground with the blade of the shovel, and Marina plucks it off. It makes a familiar rattling sound as she moves it.
Amber.
But I hold up a dirty finger to my lips. Not yet. Looking back towards the parking lot, I can't tell if anyone has seen us. Seen us dig and find the treasure. Don't say anything until we get back to the car. She's a quivering leaf of excitement, but she manages to keep her mouth mostly shut for now. But not before hissing out an excited,
Amber.
I just smile, hoping that I look calm. Marina cradles the box in the crook of her arm like an infant, doing her best to keep it hidden from onlookers as we head back to the motorhome. She carries the shovel in her free hand, and while I have both metal detectors, I don't even notice the soreness in my arms. Though it's not the first time, the excitement of sitting down in front of the sealed box of gold feels fresh and new. This one feels heavier than the last one, and it rattles less, like there's not as much empty space. That being asked, Marina retrieves the screwdriver and hammer that I've been using to smash the locks. She sets them down in front of me, but I offer them to her. Care to do the honors?
You sure?
But she takes them. Yeah, why not? Her face lights up at the look of happiness that's worth more to me than the gold. If I'd known it was that big of a deal to her, I'd let her do this back at Shiprock. It takes her a couple of tries, but she bashes the lock off without even damaging the rest of the box. She looks to me to open it, but I shake my head. Nope, that's all you. But she shakes her head too.
We worked together to find it, so we'll open it together.
And she places her hand over mine, guiding it to the lid.
Ready?
Yeah. She maneuvers my hand to flip the box open. It's full of dull-colored nuggets, like a moldy fast food meal. I take one out, bouncing at my palm and feeling the heavy softness that's almost familiar by now. Then I pass it to Marina, who treats it with her usual reverence. She gently sets it back into the box and then smiles.
We're pretty good at this whole treasure hunting thing, huh?
I shut the box and nod. Yeah, we're not bad. Oh, good end.
Good end.
Good end. Well, for good end for today's episode, because we'll be back with more next time.
Time?
No, you're supposed to say next time, and then we say it back and forth a couple of times.
Next?
Time.
Time?
Isn't real. Don't worry about it.
that, like, comment and subscribe.